Taking your calls from around the world. The world's largest YouTube channel in regards to the phenomenon happening right now. The number to call in is 347-934-0378. Share your story. Share your story to the world right now. Again, the number to call in is 347-934-0378. Third Phase of Moon's live right now. Everybody stand by. We'll let the phone lines build up. We want to hear your calls. If you've seen a UFO, even if you didn't even capture it on film or your camera, we still like to hear the experience. Have you been abducted? What do you think of the latest UFO videos that we just posted on Third Phase of Moon, the top UFO videos of July? Wow, it's been quite amazing. Everybody stay tuned. Third Phase of Moon will be right back.
We have an unidentified flying object. We have an unidentified flying object.
Third Phase of Moon on air. Taking your calls right now. It's 6:04 p.m. Hawaii time. It's just about 12, a little bit past 12 midnight New York, and 9 p.m. Los Angeles. I hope the world's waking up that we're not alone right now. Blake Cousins taking your calls from around the world. Third Phase of Moon. You know, we got a lot of calls calling in from area codes 952, 954, another one from 954, and a 732 caller, and a few more building up. You want to report your UFO sighting right now? Call in 347-934-0378. Let's get to two similar lines calling from the same area code. We got area code 954. Both of you, welcome to Third Phase of Moon. Let's start off with one. Who's calling in? Your name and your location.
Hello?
Yes.
Is that me?
That's you, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
I'm calling from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
All right. We got two callers from Fort Lauderdale. Is this, I'm not going to say the whole name, but is this 954 and then the next digit is 5?
Yeah.
Okay, we got another person calling in from Fort Lauderdale. Let's bring them on. 954 number 6.
Yeah, this is Dwight.
Okay, so we got Dwight from Fort Lauderdale, and what's the other name?
Reynolds.
Reynolds?
Reynolds.
Bernal. Hey, okay, so what's going on in Fort Lauderdale? Two callers at the same time. Who wants to go first?
Well, yeah, that's weird, because last night I seen some crazy things.
Yeah, man, like there was a lot of crazy activity in the skies out here in this area, either in regards to extraterrestrial activity or just any hyperactive Aurora research program doing some of their tests. There's a lot of crazy stuff like that, I feel, down in Florida, Oregon. I don't know if it in regards to things that are here in Florida or more or less just the area in the globe where it resides.
Well, it's kind of strange. Let's get the other caller in. Is this all going on tonight? What happened? Was it last night?
Yeah, this
Go
is
ahead.
Reynolds. Hello?
Hey, Bernal.
Yeah, well, last night, it was early evening, about 6:30, and I looked in the sky, and I seen these large kind of orangish, I don't know if they look like worms or tubes or something in the sky, and the surrounding cloud was full of light.
What? Now, that's weird. Go ahead. Explain more.
Wait, you seen the same thing? Did you see the same?
Okay, well let's get Dwight. Let's get Dwight on the phone. Dwight, you there? Did you see the same thing?
How are you? Yeah, it almost seemed as if these entities illuminated the clouds that they were harboring themselves within. It emitted like an orangish or red aura. I don't know if it was like a reflection of the light itself, or if it was just emanating this by itself.
Well, if anybody's getting any feedback on this radio show right now, I'd suggest refresh the button. It's coming in loud and clear on our end. Let's go over this. You know, this sounds quite breaking news to me. Multiple eyewitnesses right now calling in the same time to Third Phase Moon. Do you guys even know each other?
No. I guess it just must be coincidental. I mean, I watch your show. I mean, I can't say religiously, but every now and then. And, you know, I thought it was strange. It's the first time I've ever seen anything like it.
Well, let me ask you both this, and let's start out with Dwight. Hey, Dwight, did you get to see all the videos we've been posting on Third Phase Moon over the past month in regards to this weather phenomenon? Some people call it HARP, maybe CERN, something strange going on over the skies.
I think there's a lot of activity going on seismically and in regards to our sun, due to the fact of our sun going into the end of a 206-year hibernation period, which is going to withstand 20 to 30-year ice age on Earth, which, you know, would possibly create a hindrance. Earth would be very vulnerable to comets or meteors, or to so to say there was another planetary planet coming within our galaxy, and say it had a trail on this planet of just solar debris in this time when Earth is super vulnerable to comets. I think, you know, this is a real high activity time, and there's always a lot of UFO activity during this era on Earth when in regards to the volcanoes, I think.
And then let's get the comment from the other person in Fort Lauderdale. Bedoy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah. I mean, obviously we've seen it must have been the same thing. I mean, we're in the same area, but yeah. I mean, I initially was concerned regarding to CERN. You know, that they're doing. You know, they're ramping up their tests of these particle collisions, and you know, in our magnetosphere, you know, it's becoming susceptible to you know, these plasma tubes, and that's what I thought it was. But you know, it didn't seem earthly. It seemed strange, like nothing I've ever seen.
Well, did you manage to get any photographs? Did you film this event? We'd sure like to share it with Third Phase. And did anybody else see it with you?
I assumed that somebody would have. I mean, it was so clear and obvious. I've seen it driving on I-95, the interstate. So I assumed that somebody would have, you know, posted a video. But I searched and I see nothing.
Wow, that's you know, it takes sometimes a little while for word to get out. I'm sure after we post this up on Third Phase, people will maybe reach out and share some of the video or photographs. Let's ask Dwight, did you manage to capture this phenomenon last night or yesterday?
Hello?
Yeah, Dwight, did you get to capture any of this on document it, videotape it, photograph it?
I had no means of capturing this on video, sadly.
Wow, that's you know, I bet you in the next you know, 24 hours we'll be seeing something right here at Third Phase Moon, and we'll let everybody know when we get that. We got some other callers coming in. Everybody stand by. Third Phase Moon will be right back. Wow. 2 reports. Fort Lauderdale, July 30th, 2015. Callers just in that explained a strange weather phenomenon. Something went down over there. We're calling out to the world right now, and especially Fort Lauderdale. If you were in the area yesterday and captured anything incredible in regards to weird weather phenomenon, share it to us right here at Third Phase of Moon. Go to the About page on our YouTube channel. Make contact to us. Hey, we want to see your video. I know the world wants to see it. Wow, let me tell you, I think tonight's going to be a busy night in UFOs in general, because everybody's going to have their eyes on the skies right now. The blue moon, the silver moon's out tonight. It's going to be bright. Second time this month. It's a strange phenomenon again. And while you're out there gazing at the beautiful moon tonight, Third Phase of Moon wants to see UFOs. So have your cameras ready. They might make themselves more relevant in the bright light. It's going to be bright out there tonight, people. So have your eyes on the skies. Now let's get some callers. They've been holding on. Thanks, everybody. And remember, the number to call in is 347-934-0378. Let's go to area code 828. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Welcome. Tell us your name. Where are you calling from?
Hello, this is Skid Vicious once again.
Hey, Skid, what's going on?
Hello. I'm glad to be a recipient of the station once again.
Let me ask you this, Skid, real quick. It's still daytime over here. The sun's just about to go down. How's the moon out there? Can you see it?
I was going to ask you guys how the moon was looking from your guys' perspective, because it is absolutely beautiful from here. The clouds have just passed away, and it is a beautiful full silver moon here in Asheville, North Carolina.
Wow, pretty surreal. It's within an hour and a half, we're going to get our view of the moon here coming up, peeking out of the Hilo Bay area, and it's going to rise over the whole entire island over the night, and it's going to be an incredible night. And we're going to be going on a UFO search tonight. It's so bright. I suggest everybody do the same. Let me ask you, what did you think? Did you get to hear the 2 people that just called in? We had Dwight and I think Badal, and they didn't even know each other, and they both explained something went down in Fort Lauderdale. What's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I did not hear anything upon the regards. While I was on hold, all I heard was your guys' infamous music, and I hung up and called once again, and within 30 seconds, I was put online. So I have missed the first 15 minutes of the show.
Yeah, we always put the link, and it goes straight to the site, and you should be able to just listen to it straight up, and then if you're listening to it, have your audio on mute. Hey, let's so Skid Vicious, anything on your mind tonight?
Yes. I know there's been peculiar speculation on why there have been so many peculiar events happening within the sky. Not so much as UFOs particular, but so much as the weather, so as to say.
Well, exactly. That's what? Stand by real quick. I want to get these boys back on the line right now because it's what it's all about. It's this weird weather that's been going on for the past, I'd say, past 3 months that we've been getting hit hard with all kinds of photographs, videos. You don't get to see it all, but they're quite stunning visuals. Let me get. Is this Dwight? Dwight, you there? Miguel? Badal? Badal? No?
Hello?
You there, Dwight or Badal?
Yeah, this is him.
Dwight or Badal? Sorry, I'm getting your numbers confused.
Yeah, this is Badal.
Hey, Badal, let me ask you this. What was your thoughts in when you first witnessed this? You said you haven't seen anything like this before. What was your gut instinct on it? Was it extraterrestrial, military, natural?
I mean, I haven't seen anything specific as in these tubes. I've seen UFOs before, certainly. Maybe a handful of times. And
really?
Oh yes, yeah. Originally, I come from Hawaii, actually Kauai. So
nice. There's a lot of military action out there for sure. Do you think it's military?
Sure.
What?
Hawaii, I think, is a hot spot, and I think you would agree. But I live
Absolutely.
here in Fort Lauderdale now, and I've seen these tubes, and they were massive. If I had to put them in a scale, I'd say they were maybe 100 yards in length. And, they were orange, and they looked kind of like plasma, these plasma tubes. I've seen similar videos, and that's what it seemed like to me.
I totally agree with you. I think Hawaii is a hot spot. I don't think I know for a fact that it is. We've had many sightings ourselves, and a lot of our friends have seen a lot of crazy stuff in the skies. And again, I think maybe some of it is advanced military tech, but then again, I think it's alien tech involvement in reverse engineered, quite crazy stuff. How would you say it in Hawaiian style if you saw a UFO in the sky?
In Hawaiian style?
Yeah.
Like pigeon?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, look, like going right so called Auntie Jojo, bro, it's nice.
Oh, bro, by the coconut tree, check them out. It's a bright light, brother.
Check them out, bro. All of this step hiding, bro. One whole swarm will warm us down there by the beach. Bring your small bamboo pole, bro. You're going to fry them up later.
Right on, man. Well, hey, thanks for sharing your sighting. And, this new information, I got a feeling things are going to be coming of it. Appreciate you joining us right here at Third Phase.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get to another caller right now. Thanks for holding. Let's go to area code 732. You're live, Third Phase of Moon.
Hi, Blake. It's Steve.
Hey, Steve. What's going on?
I
want to ask you straight up. Hold on. Before we go anywhere, Steve, I think people are going to recall and recognize your voice, and I want to thank you for joining us right here at Third Phase of Moon. But let's recap what was said last week. We were asking people and the public of what they thought happened to Flight Malaysia 370, and we're kind of baffled by the mystery of what happened to this plane. Now there's some news coming out as of within 24 hours that they may have found the wing, and it's pretty much almost confirmed. I don't know. It's breaking news kind of stuff right now. What's your thoughts about this wing being discovered?
What my thoughts are being discovered for this. I'm trying to get the Grays not to cut off your questions. One thing, my sympathies to anybody that has family or friends that was on Malaysia flight that's listening to Third Phase to Moon. I was given more information by the Grays that I talked to because I have the implants. I don't know if everybody remembers the recap from the last show or two that I was on. I have implants. I talked to the Grays, hundreds of them, all the way across the United States, and reptilians. The guys from Florida. This is what I'm saying. The Grays take over, and they're trying to sidetrack your question. I'm trying to tell them not to do this. The Malaysia flight, there was a ship. The gray reptilian ship that knocked that thing out of the sky. The government and the base that those people were taken to, the ship was found and everything. They know where it's at, but the government's going to cover it up. The question is, how much of that stuff is the government going to let out of the news media?
So you're saying alien Grays are telling you that one of the enemies, a draconian ship, actually shot Flight Malaysia out of the sky, and what this wing discovery is part of the debris from a draconian shoot down?
They're telling me it was a Gray ship. A lot of the Grays at a lot of the bases, the Grays and the reptilians work together, and the draconians, they all work together. So when you were saying at the beginning of that program last time, there was some important people on there. I was told by them half of people were made it and the other half was taken to the underground base. How much, this is what I mean by the cover up for the government, that they just might release some kind of news press to the public about, we found the ship and this and that. The government, where it's at, always knew where that thing went down and everything. It's just they're covering up. They just might release some kind of news information that's why I say my sympathies to anybody that has family or friends on that plane for that Malaysia flight and that's listening to Third Phase of the Moon. I really do feel bad. I feel bad about those people though, but you know, I was told by them that the half were taken, half didn't make it. So you know how you know they're telling me they got beamed out. So you know.
Wow, you know what, Steve? You know, stand by. I think you had a message that you said the aliens have, and we'll get to that. And a few more callers from San Diego. We got 2 of them coming up next. Third Phase of the Moon. Stand by. Blake Cousin.
Third Phase of the Moon.
Third Phase
of the Moon.
Phase
of the Moon.
Wow, Third Phase of the Moon's back, taking your calls from around the world. The sun's just about going down right here, big island of Hawaii. Third Phase of the Moon base. It's a blue moon tonight, people. Have your cameras ready. Just don't look out for the moon. Look out for those strange things in the night. No, they're out there. Now, where were we? We're going to go to San Diego. Area code 619. Welcome back, Third Phase.
Hey, Blake, Brent, hey, how's it going? It's Kelly. Obviously, you guys know me. I was just listening to some of the stuff about the weird lights that they've probably seen over in Florida. I would just like to say that it could be the HARP. The reason why I say that is because I know they shut down the one that's over in what is it, the state they had over there, Alaska. We know they shut that site down, but I've been looking through scanning some stuff through YouTube, and the one I found was actually from a person at the YouTube. Her name is Michelle Hopkins. I'm going to give her that. What I found out is that she has been scanning through Google Earth, and she found one that was at the massive TTA discovery over on a secret island. It's called Ascension Island. It's over on the Atlantic side. Yes, it's over on the Atlantic side at Cusco. So if you look on YouTube, it's called HARP, Massive TTA Discovered on a Secret Island. For everybody out there, just go ahead and check that out on YouTube. And she shows you all, like, she goes down and all the way across this island, and there's massive. I'm talking massive. The one they had in Alaska is nothing compared to what they got now. And she's claiming that, you know, because the HARP that they have over there, and she shows you through some scientific website that she has went through that it would cause earthquakes. Now, some of the stuff that they've seen, I've seen some of the stuff on YouTube as well, like a lot of the aerial things that they've shown. I mean, some of those lights, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, some of that stuff that's bouncing around like that, it could be alien, but a lot of that stuff, I mean, some of that the high altitude stuff, even government came out saying that it is, you know, they have to because there's nothing. It's about weather, the changing weather. If you look at it, like the other day, I was also watching on Facebook. There was some stuff on there where it showed not Israel, but Iran. Iran just had a weather system where there was 154 degrees. I mean, that's the highest. That's the highest they've ever had on planet Earth. I mean, that's 154 degrees.
Yeah, you pretty much could cook your food just out in the middle of the street there, I guess. 154 degrees?
154 degrees. That's what was posted out on the Weather Channel. That's like the hottest on Earth's record that we know of. So to me, it's like the government's got some stuff that they're doing right now. So I mean, it is weather, and they know that they've been doing weather with all the spraying they're doing with all these contrails. A lot of that stuff is, I mean, to me, if they're saying that they're doing, you know, like the Georgia Guidestones, to me, if they're doing like what they, you know, based on like the Illuminati and everybody talking about the Georgia Guidestones, that they want to bring down the human race to 500,000, or 500 million. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're just going to do by weather. If they can't do it by, you know, all the stuff, diseases and disease control or war, that's the way they're going to do it. And for the Malaysian thing that the guy that was talking about, I missed last week, but to me, like some of that stuff that they showing, like the wings that was found on the island over there, I don't know. I mean, it could be a Boeing 777. I mean, government can throw that out there with a little, suitcase that they found. I mean, I watched today that they were showing, like, on that island that find a lot of junk on there because it's over there in the Pacific Island. There's a lot of stuff that sunk into the ocean. And I believe the same thing that the guy does, too. I mean, I don't know that much of what he has, but to me, I believe that plane was taken. And I don't know who made it or who didn't make it, but I believe the same thing is that, like, somebody, the Greys or the reptilians, that they did take those people, and those people are gone. I mean, I wish we could know how they're doing, and and hope they're, with their families. I'm sorry for them as well, but that's what I've known.
Yeah, it's still the conspiracy theory. I don't think has been silenced of what happened to Flight Malaysia 370, just because this wing ends up kind of in the middle of a strange island, doesn't even match where any of the computer predicted possible downage of this craft would end up, and then it ends up kind of suspiciously up on the rocks, kind of like almost as it's placed. I don't know. It's something that still people aren't going to be putting away and taking the government's word for it. That's all. Let me ask you this, go ahead.
I'm sorry, but what I would believe is, like, if they did take that, they're going to take everybody on that plane, or if they didn't make it, to me, I would say they would take them. But, like, you could throw a piece of an airplane out there just to, like, have a watch poncho or somewhere else, but they don't even know if it's even a part of a 777. I mean, that's what, that's what they're saying, because it was a 777. But to say that, like, next, just a little bit of pieces, to me, it's like almost like the 9/11 thing that the guy found. They found the guy's passport in the middle of all that debris, or they just lo and behold that this found. To me, I don't believe it. Something else is happening. There's this conspiracy with the government and with these alien beings here, with the reptilians. I believe as well. I mean, there is some Greys out there too that are not. They're not friendly either. I mean, they're working with the reptilians as well. So, I mean, I just hope, but it's just sad to see that the families have to deal with that as well.
Hey, well, let's go back to Fort Lauderdale. We got Dwight and Berdal still waiting there for us, and let's ask if there's anything going on right now, and also maybe we could talk about some of the videos that's been posted up just this past few days right here at Third Phase of the Moon. What did we have? We had a weird floating sphere on Mars. It almost looks like it's just levitating there. Mm-hmm. Some people say maybe it's older, captured as it's kind of rolling down the hillside there, but I don't know, kind of weird stuff. Let's go to Fort Lauderdale. Kelly, you got any questions for these guys? We got Dwight and Berdal on the phone.
Hey. Yeah. My question to you guys, is like what you guys are seeing. Is it like a high altitude within what type of clouds that you guys are seeing? I mean, some of the stuff that it has posted, like that these guys shared, where it looked like have you guys seen that? Where it was a beam of light, like kind of jumping from cloud to cloud, or is it just kind of a steady light? Because I've seen some stuff that where the sunset's going down, but you look from, so it's going down from the west, but if you look back in the east, some of the clouds lit up kind of bright, or is this like jumping around, or what are you guys looking at?
No,
what color is it?
This was from in between clouds, and the clouds are stationary. I watched this cloud stay in position for over 2 hours. The cloud didn't even move. It didn't sway. It didn't go with the breeze. It stood still for over 2 hours, and then slowly just dissipated. And, these tubes are like an orangish color, maybe a bright yellowish orange. It's nothing I've ever seen before.
Is that Berdal or Dwight?
That's Arnold.
Oh, sorry, man. Arnold. Let's,
Arnold.
Arnold, yep. Man. It's a tricky name.
Sorry.
No problem, man. It's not your fault.
You can just call me Bernie. Just call me Bernie.
All right, hey, man. Let's go Bernie. That's a lot easier. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay.
Is Dwight with us?
Hello.
Hey, Dwight.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, so the question, Kelly might have a question for you, Dwight, because we have two different eyewitnesses of a possible same event. Go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah. The question I was asking was more like a color. I mean, do you guys have a description of like the color? I mean, because like the one I did see, like
more of a plasma origin. You could tell it illuminated the clouds itself.
I know, but like what color? I mean, you've seen the one on YouTube, or even like the cousin brothers.
This is a deep
like
orange, between an orange spectrum between a red.
And is it the same thing like the other guy was saying? It was more like tube jamming, just like jumping through pattern?
Not more or less of a pattern, more or less of a fluid entity, almost as if it was pulsating or...
Wow, you know what? Testimonials, we're getting a little bit of feedback coming in off Florida, Fort Lauderdale. But everybody stand by, Third Phase of Moon. We got one more segment left. If you want to share your UFO sighting right now, live, on air, call in 347-934-0378. Check out that silvery moon. We'll be right back.
We have an unidentified flying object. We have an unidentified flying object.
Flying objects, that is. Lots of them. I think we got about, almost 2,000 to 3,000 videos exclusively, shared to us by the people from around the world. And we give credit where credit's due. Most of the time, they want to share their names and their encounters and their YouTube links to the original source, and we'll post it. NASA, that's easy. We're always posting direct NASA links. And then sometimes they'll go and remove it. You just never can tell what's going on with NASA. But you know what? Tonight's the blue moon. We're going to go on a UFO hunt, people. I suggest everybody do the same. It's going to be a long night. Stay tuned to Third Phase of Moon for that. I wanted to remind everybody that we'll be back again next week, Friday, midnight, New York time, 9 p.m. Los Angeles time, 9 p.m. if you're in Los Angeles, and 6 p.m. Pacific, right here in Hawaii. I wanted to thank everybody and people from around the world that participated in this live radio show. It's what it's all about, sharing people's experience. And I think something went down in Fort Lauderdale. We look forward to hear, and we're going to be watching our emails tonight at the same time, so we'll be standing by. If something comes in, some new video breaking in right here at Third Phase of Moon, don't worry, we'll be covering this. Everybody, you know what? Think to yourself, infinity. It just doesn't end. And to think that we're the only intelligent beings in this universe, think about that tonight. Blake Cousins, keep your eyes on the skies. We'll see everybody again next time. phase of the moon, possible overtime right now. We're going to be taking calls. Some callers are calling in just as we're closing the show. We'll see if we're having any breaking news. Area code 781, you're live, third phase of the moon. Tell us your name. Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm calling from Lynn, Massachusetts. And I have a question. Sometimes at night, I go around this time, I see star-looking objects in the sky. I don't know what they are. They're just stars, and they kind of glow. They glow up, and they just disappear, and they're just there for 5 seconds. I don't even know what they are. I don't know if you have any information on what that could be.
Well, it's kind of weird that you asked me that question because a few months ago somebody was explaining to me while they're out there in their porch, and he's smoking a cigarette at night, and he said he's looking up in the sky, and then all of a sudden he saw this big bright. It looked like a star, and then it flashed, and then it was gone. And he said, "Could you tell me what that was?" And he said, "There's no clouds in the sky, so you could dismiss anything blocking any kind of light."
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, were there any clouds in the skies? Clear night?
Yeah, it's a clear night, and this has happened. I've noticed it probably last year. I did see one, and this has all happened during clear nights. There was no clouds. The first time it looked like a star, straight line moving across a night. It just stopped. Now that happened one time to me last year in the summer, around this time. Now, right now, last month I saw it 2 to 3 times, and about a couple days ago I saw it again. And now all of it is, it's sometimes it'll just be a star, but sometimes it will be very luminous, much brighter than the star. But it goes in a straight line, and then it just disappears. And it seems to be like at the top of the skyline. I mean, that's not a satellite or anything like that. It couldn't be. It can't.
No, it absolutely couldn't be. There is a phenomenon. Some people get lucky enough to witness a supernova. Could you imagine witnessing that explosion at that split second that happened hundreds of millions of years ago, and it's finally reaching at light speed your eyeball, and you get to witness an exploding star in real time, the death of a star. But in this case, I don't think that's what you're witnessing. I think what you're witnessing is something that's it's a UFO, is what it is. Is it? And there's a lot of people that are experiencing this stuff around the world. I get a lot of people like pointing their video cameras at these lights in the dark sky, and those are hard to share on third phase moon because it just looks like a star. And then who knows, maybe a cloud goes. But I know what you're saying. I know what you're seeing is real.
Yeah, because it it's so hard to capture on video just for one reason, that it does just look like a regular star, because our camcorders that we have and the camera phones that we use, it's not going to capture that intensity, that reality that you can see, from a human eye. And sometimes it's too quick. You can't even get it out in time. It's already gone.
Absolutely. And then who knows? Is it a quantum jump? Are they traveling in interdimensional space and time? That's theoretically possible. It's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be reality here pretty soon. I'm hoping that there is no such thing as we can't travel as fast as the speed of light. We could get to one place to another on the far vastness of the universe now, just that fast. You can't even comprehend how fast that is, but that's theoretically possible. So there's these worlds and ET planets that I think already have this information and technology, and they're going to be sharing it with us here pretty soon.
Yeah, I've always thought, extraterrestrial beings do exist. I mean, it would be pretty sad if it didn't. We live in this big world, and what world governments tell us, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but it kind of comes true because, you do have all these conspiracies of, these government cover-ups. And, some of them have turned out to be very suspicious. The government's hiding something. They don't want us to know something about extraterrestrial life. It's, there has to be life out there somewhere. And I do think one day it will be revealed to us one day. But whenever that day comes, I don't know.
Well said. That's, pretty much well stated. And you got to remember, too, it's not just as far as you can see and how vast that infinity is. It gets small, too.
Yeah.
If you can get your brain around getting and looking this as the size of an atom and keep going smaller, there's multi-universes in that. It just doesn't end. It does not end one way or the other. Large, small, it's all there, and it's hard to get your brain wrapped around it. It's mind-boggling. But there's a reason behind it, and it's very mathematical in my opinion. Not exactly sure, but that's my opinion, and there's a force, whatever it is. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. It's a blue moon tonight. We're going to be sharing some exclusive new video that just came into third phase of moon very shortly. You're not going to believe what just came in. It's quite incredible. Blake Cousins. We'll see everybody again next week, Friday. Wow, everybody's still here, third phase of moon. More callers just in. We only got a few minutes left. I always keep the lines open just in case. You never know what's going to happen. Let's go to area code 831. Hey, thanks for joining us last minute right here at third phase of moon. You got a UFO sighting you want to report?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that I've been seeing a bunch of those flashing, satellite kind of looking things, and they don't look like iridium flares to me. And if you kind of see that kind of stuff on some of the infrared stuff, night vision. So that night I saw them, they were taking pictures, I think, of clouds. And I think that it's not that bright, but it's bright enough for a really sensitive chip to pick it up.
Wow, where's this report coming from? And your name?
Drew, and I'm in Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz, California. That's an interesting spot. Is it happening quite often over there?
Yeah, I've seen them, very frequently, and they appear that they can alter their course. So that's, it's not totally apparent to me, but I believe that's what's happening, or else slow down or something. And I saw, not the same kind, but I saw something sort of intercept another, it was like lights way far away. You couldn't tell much about it, but.
So right now, Santa Cruz, California, what's the blue moon look like tonight? Can you take a look?
I didn't. Last night I did, and it was in and out of clouds. We've either got middle level clouds from the tropics, or else we've got fog, and so one or the other. So one's going to screw you up somewhere.
So what were you saying about your theory on what you're seeing over there over Santa Cruz?
Well, the night that, in particular that I saw, and the most recent, it was, we had some interesting clouds around. I check out clouds occasionally, and I like their structure and them develop and move or not move, some people talk about. There were all kinds of interesting formations, but cracks in the clouds, open spaces too, where you could see the stars. And the thing came across, and it just seemed to be, focusing down, sort of directly down in my direction. And, it was like a succession of like 3 flashes, I think. Really white, it does look kind of like iridium, but I don't think they flash that. That's more of a, it slowly gets bright, and then it's like, really bright like this, and then it just slowly kind of goes away, So.
Yeah, that's it's quite similar encounter. That's one of the most frequent kind of UFO sightings people encounter, is these blinking out stars. And just strange weather patterns as well. We've been looking over some strange weather patterns on Third Phase Moon in this entire video, and we're going to be sharing it on our Third Phase Moon YouTube channel, so make sure everybody take a look at that. We got one last caller calling in right now, 484. You're live, Third Phase of Moon. 484, you there? 484 just dropped out. You know what, everybody? It's been a exciting last minute, few different sightings and things that come into Third Phase Moon. We'll see everybody again next week. Thanks, everybody. And catch some waves over there in Santa Cruz.
Third Phase
of Moon.